Got the Boston Trucker with you. It is July 5th. Hope everybody had a great July 4th.
The Boston Trucker here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy it.
All right, so we got both new trucks in the shop. This one's ready to go. This one's ready for Freddie. Got it pinstriped, lettered. They didn't do too much pinstriping on it, just across the back on the sides of the windows. They got the AC in the back. And it's looking good. It is looking sharp. It's greased up. Got to get it hooked to a wagon and put it on the streets. This is the replacement of the T800 that burned down last year. This is one of the last T800s ever built. And we're very lucky to have it. Got strobes on top and in the grill. Big monster visor. Chrome bumper. Lights on the air cleaners. Painted tanks or polished ends. Premium interior. It's going to be a nice ride for Freddie. Now we got my truck. I'm waiting on the pinstriping guy. He might show up this morning to finish it. I left him some notes where I want him to pinstripe. We call it spaghetti here. Spaghetti pinstriping. See, look. It kind of looks like spaghetti. So we call, I don't know if anybody else, any other part of the country calls it spaghetti, but spaghetti, I got him writing something there. All right, I want him to write government juice there. Hydraulic oil there. I want to make sure he puts the AC in the center of the window. That one is too high up, I think. Well, I think it should have been a little lower. I want mine perfectly centered. Want some spaghetti up there. How you like that airbox? Pretty sweet, huh? TRP did an amazing job. First of all, let's thank super salesman Drew Trombley from Kenworth, who helped design most of this truck, with me, of course. Drew did an amazing job. If you need a great salesman from Kenworth, Northeast Kenworth, contact Drew Trombley. The guy knows his trucks. He's the one that suggested to me, he said, so do you want curved glass, one piece, or flat glass? I was like, flat glass? He goes, yeah, you can get flat glass. I wouldn't have known if it wasn't for Drew, so that's how I ended up with the flat glass. Once he said flat glass, there was no questions what I was getting for a truck. And then, we took the paint over to Adams Equipment in Middleborough, Mass. They painted my tanks red, and I wanted them black on both ends. And that way, it flows with this black right here. So if you're looking from the side, you get a black end and a black end. Why would I have a polished end and a black end? It's kind of what I was thinking. I think it came out cool. I'm torn if I'm going to put spaghetti on the tanks. Reason is, if I'm here with the pinstriping guy, yes. If he's here on his own, no, because once he does it, it's permanent, and I want to know what he's going to do. He's a little hard to get a hold of sometimes. He's an artist. Artists are a little quirky. Aluminum polishing guys, quirky. Pinstriping guys, quirky. Artists are quirky. So we got the, so what did I have TRP do? So they got me a 20-inch Roadworks bumper, hidden bolts. I had to put the Swan on the hood. They get the RLK visor, lights behind the bumper. These are all truck's accessory lights. I got 3 lights in front of the air cleaner. One red, one behind. They built me these custom tank extenders with lights in them. That was my design. I wanted the red light on the back to shine off of the fenders. full Hogue-built hidden bracket fenders with mud flaps on both sides. We also have a deck plate inlaid in between the frame, diamond plate. I went with diamond plate because diamond plate holds up. On my last truck, diamond plate holds up. When it gets scratched, because you stand on it, it polishes out. So I went with the diamond plate. Ernie over there at TRP in Shrewsbury built me this custom ramp for the low bed with an enclosed diamond plate, deck plate there. Built me this. This is all steel, by the way. The tail lights, the watermelon lights, all trucks accessories. Mud flaps across the back. Spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. Box this. I want them to box this. And this tank is this. So the other side tank is my hydraulic tank only. This is my only fuel tank right here. Ernie built me these custom steps, which I'm sure are going to break my back on one day, trying to get on and up. But they look cool, and that's all that really matters. Look at that box. I had to polish both boxes the other night. They were all oxidized. They were kind of white, so I polished those out. We got the 5-inch stacks to the back because I like that look. Reminds me of Smokey and the Bandit. Yeah, and that is a dummy stack. Wow, wow, wow. I don't care. That's how it's going to be for now. Maybe we'll put on 7-inch straights in the wintertime. I have chrome elbows coming. They're on back order. We got 6 watermelon trucks accessory lights going out the back. We got a ProTech toolbox. I don't have any storage inside the cab. Like my old truck had a dummy storage box under the seat. We got the hydraulic lines on top of the airline box. This is the light cord. That's the light cord. That's the light cord. That's the top cord. Quick connect airlines, which I've never had these before. These are really great. And hydraulic lines. We had to change that one to a smaller output because they came with 2 big ones, and that doesn't look too bad. The interior I'm still working on. It's got the Seattle package. 2B's upholstery in Washington does that, Washington State. I just changed the shifter top, and I'm waiting on some other parts. Kenworth knob I ordered from Rainey's. Freddie Chrome gave me this piece and this piece, which is nice of him. It's good to have nice friends. I would like some spaghetti over there. See what happens. Got a new radio I came in to work on this morning. I got the Striker 447 because I heard it was a smaller radio, would fit in that box, but it's really small. It's like the size of a Cobra 25. I got mixed feelings on it. I got to tune it in this morning. I got a new steering wheel coming. I ordered from Forever Sharp. Actually, it's here, and I haven't opened the box. I got brake knobs coming, but they're on back order, which is really annoying. I'm not going to have them for Gear Jammer. I got some nice Kenworth brake knobs. But let's go find the steering wheel, because I have not opened it yet. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm not going to open it, but you can see what it looks like. That's the steering wheel I got right there. Forever Shop. Forever Shop. So that came from California, and I like their steering wheels. And that's the tour. I am waiting on Doug and Dave, 2 of my best friends, 2 guys with decades worth of trucking experience. They're meeting today for the first time. They have been in my videos multiple times. They're coming to see the truck. We're gonna go for breakfast. Maybe I'll shoot a little interview with those guys. What do you think? It could happen. All right, we're here with Dave. Everybody remember Dave from YouTube? And Doug from YouTube? We're gonna go get some breakfast here at Wilson's Diner. Maybe we'll talk shop. We'll see.
Talk about trucks.
Maybe what else is there to talk about, right? How's it look?
Good.
Good, huh?
Good. Middle one.
Can you pass the pepper, Mike?
Look at this thing. Hey, you know what? You're in trouble now because you got the 2 truck inspectors.
The two truck. You guys could be super rigs judges.
Yeah, we're gonna judge this.
Can I drive it? I'm ready.
Yeah. I think you could handle it. It's a little smaller than you're used to.
That's beautiful. Awesome truck, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
This is vibrant.
We got
Love these fenders too. I know you.
yeah, you told me I should get those fenders.
I know you're worried, but you just gotta take your time. You can put like a little blanket across, a little towel.
Yeah, that's why I get the towel there so people climb on my
Yeah,
deck
those-
plate.
Those fenders are really cool. Now I saw in the video you made the back of it,
Yeah.
and it looked great in the video. So I'm gonna go check it out here.
Let's
now.
check out the back. So I got these little notepads on there for the striping guy. He's supposed to show up.
Today?
Where the he's supposed to be here today. We'll see.
Yeah, you
Like,
know what?
put
That's,
spaghetti there, box this in, spaghetti.
you know, it's too bad you gotta hook up to a trailer.
Right. It's too nice to. It's,
It's
too nice to work.
It's too nice.
But nothing's
That's
cheap.
That's cool.
That's steel.
That's all steel.
Yeah.
That's steel. Like you can buy the cheap plastic,
Yeah.
light panel.
Yeah,
That's custom made.
Yeah.
These here.
Everything. I like the.
Yeah. This is a custom bracket all the way across.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful in a pit with these.
I gotta be
Well,
careful
imagine when you drop-
everywhere.
when you drop your air, they must be right on the
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. I mean, both of you guys have done some trucking in your lives, right?
Yeah.
With the spread,
I started
it's-
out with a dump truck.
Right.
Trailer.
How
You were
far
doing-
does the trailer go on there?
Well, I haven't moved the fifth wheel back yet,
Yeah.
but it's gonna go back probably closer. It's gonna be in the middle.
I got
So
these steps. I really like them.
you have those
Painted
steps?
these. Yeah, I have the same ones.
Really?
To get in the back, but they were painted.
Hey, you
Yeah.
know what I want to video?
What's that?
You crying after you hook up a lowboy for the first time.
Yeah, and the pink chips.
And scratch this.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
I'd
That'll
like to
be.
be a fly on the wall for that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
It's be like they'll find him in the corner.
I'll hear him crying up. I'm in California.
I know there'll be
Yeah.
he'll be parked on the side like having a moment because like nobody wants to scratch this.
No, or the first time a rock comes up and gives me a little dimple in my
Yeah.
fender.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's too nice to work.
So freaking big compared to mine.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's just a high goal.
Old school 24/5 big rubber.
Yeah. That's it.
That's cool.
How's the road life, guys?
Road life's alright.
You guys are zigzagging coast to coast nonstop.
Well,
This is the
let's-
longest
Let's
I've
not
taken
get
out.
carried
Can you get
away.
your hand?
Oh my
Look at
God!
what you're doing here,
It's trucking, buddy. We might as well just break the seal now.
right? So for people who don't know you guys, you guys have been on my channel a bunch of times, this is Doug Convente, television trucker, and this is Dave Bucklin, trade show trucker. What's up, guys?
Not
Welcome
much.
back.
We came over to see how the guys that haul dirt live.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're living pretty good. This
Not too bad. Nothing to
Nah,
complain
you
about.
got it going on.
And you're going to Italy tomorrow.
And we're going to Italy tonight. Yeah,
Tonight,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we don't have to wear. It's tough. It's tough doing dirt.
I'm going home to wash my truck and clean it.
Yeah.
No, I'm off for the first time in probably a year for 10 days.
That's
So,
nice.
Working on the truck, wanted to see this. Been waiting for 8 months or so.
Yeah. It's been a
Looks great.
while.
It's worth the wait.
How's the road?
Same old.
You're on the West Coast and the East Coast every week.
All,
In Chicago,
Vegas,
yep.
Vegas, LA, San Francisco.
I think you're in Vegas more than you're anywhere, right? Vegas and Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to slow down. Trade show slows down, and then once people start sending their crews out to see these
Mhm.
shows that we put on, it'll pick up. So I'm taking my time off now,
Good for you.
and
How's the big bunk?
it's home.
Yeah.
It's my only home.
156-inch home.
Yeah. It's got everything in it that I need now. It's got the internet, TV.
Yep. It's nice
Everybody
to have that
wants-
shower, isn't it? The
Oh.
shower is the best thing,
Took a
right?
shower this morning.
In your truck.
15-minute shower.
Yeah.
Just didn't care about water. Plenty of water. Everybody calls us and they want to get in them, but doing trade show is not just driving.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta deal with customers like he does. You gotta deal with people on the dock. You gotta
Mhm.
leave your attitude at the door because you gotta get in with everybody to get it done.
Yeah. Do
And-
people expect you to back that truck in where the smaller trucks back in?
Yeah, but I've maybe twice in 300,000 have I had to unhook.
Yeah,
And that was more out of, it's just not humanly possible.
yeah.
I mean, I could be jacked completely sideways and
Mm-hmm.
have it in a dock.
What's the wheelbase on that truck, do you know?
God, I don't know.
It's gotta be
Didn't
at
pay
least,
attention.
at least 350, right?
It's gotta be something like that.
Yeah. And a 53-foot trailer.
Yep, with a low boy.
Yeah.
and
Sometimes
high-
a spread
high-
axle.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't move the tandems. It'd be nice to slide them up
Yeah.
when you're in the city, but
Yeah.
a lot of it's just Google Earth.
Yeah.
You get on there, you research the hell out of it, because the address in the convention center in the downtown
Mhm.
is just the front. You've got to find the dock. You got to get your way in, but
And it's all downtown trucking.
oh,
Yeah.
that's it.
And Google Earth, that's something you didn't have 30 years ago when you were
I don't
driving,
know how I did it.
right?
Turn left
How'd
at
you
the
do it back
church.
then? How'd you do it back then?
Writing on a piece of paper large, so when you're driving, you can look at it.
Yeah. On a
And
map.
I might take 20 turns just to get into the city,
Yeah.
and I got to concentrate on every turn without. I mean, I don't want to go over a curb.
So you Google Earth everything pretty much
Everything.
now. Doug, do you do Google Earth?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I always, if it's someplace I haven't been,
Yeah.
I'll go on my computer.
And yours is all downtown trucking too, pretty much. A lot of it.
is. And
Yeah.
a lot of it's just tight places. Like I do a lot of golf shows.
Golf shows,
And
yeah.
so we go to big golf courses and they're not made for, 53-foot spread axle trailer
Yeah.
to come in. So usually what I do is if I've never been there before, I'll go on Google Earth and
Yeah.
then what I do is I do this, take that little guy,
Yeah.
and I drop him down where I gotta go, the street I gotta go
Pin
down.
drop, yeah.
And then I just go down the whole street to see is there
Really?
any low bridges, is there low trees, what's the turns gonna be like?
Yeah, you can walk
And
the street.
you just walk the guy down.
Yeah, I've
there.
never done any of that before. I don't
Oh,
even, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
see where we're going, cause just like what Dave said, like a lot of times if I put the address in that they have on the paperwork,
Mhm.
it'll be for some golf club, but it'll always be it'll be the country, the actual.
house.
The
Yeah,
clubhouse.
yeah.
That's not where we're going. We're usually going to a maintenance yard or there might be just like a cleared out field or whatever.
Mhm.
So I have to find where that is. I can call up, talk to the right people, find it, but then I still need to see the streets. Like we just did one in Nashville, Tennessee, like 2 weeks ago, and it was a little country road, and then it was a right hand turn to go into a maintenance yard,
Yep.
and there was like a culvert on both sides of the street. So like we had to be like right on the edge to be able to make that right hand turn because
Mhm.
it was fences, So like I just like to see what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Google.
It's smart that you
yeah.
guys can do
Now,
that.
walking along too,
Yeah.
if you haven't been there and you want to go in at night just to get staged,
Yeah, take a walk.
at least you can see if there's a gate. Now they have
Yeah.
gates.
Right.
You can't in LA, Chicago, you can't get into these places at night. So
Yeah.
I can walk and say, okay, I can park here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit 30 miles away.
Yeah.
I don't even like to stay in truck stops. Period. But
Yeah.
it's
Well, you
nice.
guys got some expensive equipment too. Your trucks you guys have $1 million trucks going down the road.
Truck and
Yeah.
trailer.
You know, especially you, Doug. You got,
Yeah, I mean,
you
'cause
got.
mine's all
like
broadcast equipment. It's
yeah.
all built in, and we carry cameras and all kinds of equipment that's real
Yeah,
expensive. so.
truck stops are not safe places anymore, are they?
Our stuff, as far as like worrying about getting something stolen from the truck, there's really not much anybody
Yeah.
could use. It's more of like damage.
Getting hit.
That's why I
Yeah,
don't
getting
want
hit.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're sleeping at a truck stop, you could wake up with some guy tearing the hood off your truck.
Yeah. How are the fuel ions these days? They look pretty sketchy too.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
everybody likes to, they get fuel and then they disappear. They pull forward and then they disappear. Go take a shower. Go.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know
even
what
if they
do.
pull forward.
That's everywhere.
Yeah. Dave, you told me one day that they lift their hoods like they're checking oil and then they go inside and take a shower.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's
And I'm
crazy.
seeing at a couple of Flying J's that they just don't want to police it. If you're making $12 an hour, are you going to go out there and yell at a truck driver?
I don't think it's worth it.
No.
The thing I try to do is like try to fuel in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because usually from midnight till maybe 5 in the morning,
Yeah.
you can get in there. And the other thing is like, we don't have like a steady run,
Mm-hmm.
but there's certain places I go a lot. So like if I'm leaving from Pittsburgh going, like our main shop is in Pittsburgh. We have a big facility out in Van Nuys, California. If I'm running from Pittsburgh to Van Nuys, I know where my first stop is at night. You know, I know where I'll stop every night. I know what fuel stop I'm going to go in. I know the ones to avoid along certain routes. And then if I'm driving during the day, that's what I'll do, or I'll try to just do it at night.
Yeah.
It makes life just a lot easier. And then and in today's world, just driving at night, you know, it makes it easier.
Yep.
Traffic's gotten so bad that like during the daytime, especially in the summer, if I can set it up, I can't always do it, but if I can set it up to run at night, that's what I do.
Do they let you park on off ramps and on ramps?
I mean, I try never to do that.
A lot of people don't. I do.
Parking off ramps? Yeah, you do all the time. Well, your truck is so big, you couldn't.
I can go into a truck stop, but sometimes you're sticking out 6 feet, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But
And you
now-
can't pull into a spot, can you, and back out in the morning?
Well, you can. Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
The problem is now the cops are knocking on the door in certain states. Out
yeah.
west, do all you want.
Yeah.
It's in the East Coast, they don't want you doing anything, and I get it.
Yeah.
They're like, well, someone could run into you. Well, they shouldn't be on the shoulder if they're gonna hit me.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, East Coast, it's hard. I'm lucky. I stay in hotels at night.
Yeah.
So that doesn't become an issue for me.
Yeah. Do you always know where your hotel is in advance? Like in the morning, you know, your goal at the end of the day is to make it to a certain hotel?
Well, like I said, when we're going certain places, I've been doing it long enough that, you know, I have just like in my head, like, okay, if I leave here, 600 miles is here.
Yep.
And I pick the hotels more on like parking than just about anything else.
I would imagine, yeah.
I know, you know, there's some places where they're nice hotels and you're just like, unless you're there early.
Yeah.
If you get there early, you can get in. If you're gonna get there like at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, forget it. So I just try to have an idea in my mind, like, you know, and usually I might plan it out even a couple days.
Right.
Because I know I can go, you know, wake up in the morning here, make it without any problem. We run
Right.
electronic logs, obviously, and I can make it within the, you know, without having any problems, and I can get in somewhere and get parked, and that's what I try to do.
So speaking of, you've been doing it a while. You guys have both been driving decades. Dave started around the same time I did. You got probably an extra decade on us. So I'd like to ask you guys, to start with Dave, how you got your start in trucking. Where did you go to? Did you go to driving school? What was your first job?
I got laid off from the airport. Didn't have a job.
What were you doing at the airport?
Fueling planes.
Okay.
Then I think it was military welding school or truck driving school.
Okay.
I was on a Wednesday. I was gone on a Sunday. Like Northeast tractor trailer, 2 month long.
Northeast,
Government.
yep.
Government. You know, you get a government loan for it.
Yeah.
It was like $7,300. But 2 months, a month just in class, then a month road work. I already knew how to drive, but you still got to do it to get your license.
What year are we talking? 90?
Geez, 90. We met in what?
We met in
91?
92.
92. So yeah, probably around 90, December
Okay.
of 90. Then I went to North America just for a brief time.
North American Van Lines. Well, tell us about that.
Well, that was just a freight company, cab over. That's when they had a freight
Indiana?
division. Out of Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, Indiana, right.
Then I saw Bud Meyer, and I knew they held Ben and Jerry's.
Slow down. Let's slow your roll. You were in North
I wanna
American.
forget about that.
North American.
Yeah,
Cab over, Freightliner.
cab over.
Were you running single, double?
I ran doubles because the guy I went to school with struggled to pass his test.
Okay.
So I said I'll run with him.
And you're hauling van line
Just general
freight?
freight.
Really?
No furniture. Just
Okay.
you know, they had a freight division.
Yep.
They were self-insured, so they were getting in trouble. when I
How
went.
was it, a new driver? You're new to the industry. You don't know anything about trucking.
I
How
don't
was
know.
it? Do you remember your
I didn't-
thoughts?
There was anxiety in the beginning, probably
Yep.
because my team driver, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was miserable when I left home after you go on a month, you go home for 4 or 5 days.
Mhm.
Leaving home was the toughest.
Yeah.
Now I just want to leave.
Yeah.
So I did that just to get the 8 months experience.
Right. And then you went to Bud Meyer.
Then I went to Bud Meyer and met you on my first
And
day.
that's where we met, and we were driving cab overs, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So I've been on and off. I've been in the car business too.
Mhm.
Sales manager.
Yep.
but
You've
this
done some dump,
fits.
you've done some dump trailer work.
Yep.
That's a big ride.
I've done what you've done.
Yep. So you can appreciate it.
Some heavy equipment operating.
Yep.
Now I'm staying where I'm at.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what about you? How did you get your start, Doug?
Well, here, I'm going to show you something. So in 1979,
Yeah.
my best friend, his younger brother, got into this with his dad. His dad had been a trucker back in I think the 40s.
Yep.
After World War II, and so they bought a Peterbilt and they bought a dump trailer, and
Yep.
they started running. And I just was like, I like traveling. And I thought it'd be cool, so I would ride with them every now and then. Just kind of got it stuck in my head that
Yeah.
it'd be fun to go do. So I said, well, I'll do this for a couple of years. So anyhow, my best friend's dad had a truck he wanted to sell,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that'll come out or not.
Oh
but
yeah, we can see that.
that was my 1977 Peterbilt cab over with a 24-foot Fruhoff dump, and I bought that off of Big T Tony Villani. Robert Villani taught me how to drive it,
Yeah.
and I thought I was going to do it for a couple of years.
If you want to lean on the tank, you can.
well, it's so
You're
beautiful.
tempted.
I don't
Dave
wanna
has no.
touch it.
Dave has no problem.
I was afraid at first, and I'm like, wait a second, this is a work truck, and I can't touch
I
it.
know.
I
Well,
want
I just don't want you scratching
Yeah,
that, but I think
it's
you
just-
got you
it's
got
too
phone in your
nice.
back pocket,
Oh my
you know.
God. Mikey.
But anyway, so you know what? Like we started. He taught me how to drive it.
Yeah.
And like I bought the truck from him.
Yeah.
Here's my truck in like school.
Yeah.
I bought the truck from him.
Yeah.
He brought it up to my house where I was living with my mom and dad's at the time
Mm-hmm.
in New Jersey. He brought the truck up. I jumped in it with him.
Mm-hmm.
He showed me how to shift it, and I knew sort of how to shift it from watching him. I mean, I knew
Yeah.
how to drive a stick shift in a car. We drove down Route 208 in New Jersey for about 10 miles,
Mm-hmm.
spun around and came back. I drove it, not real well, but I drove it.
Yep.
Parked it by my house. The next morning I got in it, drove it out on Route 80, maybe about 50 miles west out toward Pennsylvania, turned around and came back. And Monday morning I went and picked up my first load and followed Robert Villani around.
It's a lot different, pulling your
Oh,
first
yeah.
load compared to
Oh,
empty,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's an
And-
oh shit moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were running kind of probably pretty similar to what you do. We were running like from quarries to sand pits and a lot of little 2-lane back roads through like central New
Yep.
Jersey. And
Do you remember the first time you put a dump trailer in the air?
Yeah, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, you too, right?
Yeah.
Frameless.
You'd
too.
see that-
Frameless, yeah.
And it was a short trailer, but that trailer would go up and it would start doing
Yes.
this. And
Yeah.
you just freak out.
Yeah. When I started dump trucking, Dave gave me a lot of advice because
Yeah,
he
he
had
did.
done it before me.
And
On
then,
what-
but then, so I did it, and that truck I bought it. I mean, at the time it was a cab over 352 Peterbilt, and it was pretty decked out for 1979. It was a 77 truck.
Yeah.
It had a leather wrapped steering wheel.
Yeah.
I destroyed the steering wheel within the first probably 6 months because my hands used to sweat all day. No, this is for real.
Yeah.
My hands used to sweat all day.
Yeah.
And it ate the leather up
Wow.
from my hands sweating on the wheel.
Yeah.
And you know, I did that for I don't know, close to a year, and then I was just kind of dump truck stuff. Like winter came, and I was like, well, now what am I going to do? Everything slowed down back
Yeah.
then, so I bought this old piece of junk reefer from this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was right now I sit and laugh because
Yeah.
if you told me to hook up to that trailer, I'd tell you were crazy. And said, you know what, people got to eat.
Yeah.
So I started hauling dry freight to Florida and fruit and
Produce back, huh?
And I did that for a while, and then just kept going down the road. You know.
And how long did you have that truck for?
I kept that for. I ran that for 2 years, and then I sold it, and I bought an '81 Aerodyne Kenworth.
Can we see a picture of that?
Yeah, hold on.
I know you know where it is.
Well, it's right next to that one. We're truckers. We got pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of all our old trucks. Yeah, this was a pretty cool truck. I wouldn't mind having that in a garage somewhere.
Right. Oh my God. Wow. Wouldn't you love to find that truck nowadays?
Yeah, and I bought that. It was '81
Where'd you buy that from?
Mayflower Kenworth.
In that Milford, Connecticut?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy Barry Worcester was the salesman,
Yeah.
and bought it. And then I bought a '81 utility reefer, and I used to run Florida and California, and then did that for a while. And then a few years later, my dad was in the printing business for his whole life.
Yeah.
And through somebody that he did business with, they saw that I had a truck, and they asked if I would, could haul some stuff for them. And I ended up going to work like for this big paper company, and
Wow.
and then at that point, then bought a couple more trucks. I had a few guys working, had a couple owner operators, and we were like a house carrier for.
Show me
paper
some
company.
pictures of some of those owner operators. I know you got them.
Yeah, let's see here. Well, here, this was.
Oh yeah, that's trucking back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was he had that truck stretched. It was like 255 or something. That was one of my reefers.
Yep.
And then let's see. And then when I was doing that, I had let's see here. Well, here this is pretty good. Then once they made it legal that you didn't have to worry about length laws, then I bought that
You
359.
had one like that, a blue one.
Yeah. Did you trade in the Kenworth for that one?
I sold the Kenworth
Yeah.
and then bought that 359.
And then you hauled paper with that for a
I
while?
hauled paper with that for a while. I actually kept that truck for, I think, 12 or 13 years. And then when it was about 10 years old, I had it all repainted. And then that's when I started Treasure Coast Auto Transport. And I kept the paper trucks as one thing.
You got a picture of the Treasure Coast painted?
Yeah.
I'll be the last picture I ask you for.
All right. Yeah, let me see. Well, hang on.
And these guys are the real deal, anybody watching this YouTube, as you can see.
Hang on, because I want to show you a good picture of that truck.
These might be cooling seats.
You think they're cool? I don't think so.
I have these two switches. Mine's heat, but this, it's.
I don't know. Well, if you turn the key on, no, don't turn the key on, it'll stop farting and stuff.
It'll start burning.
It's like click, 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 click.
So here's a picture of that truck, and
Let me
that's
get out, let me
yeah,
get
do
out
it
of
this
the
way.
reflection. Here we go. Yep.
And that right
Dave,
there-
smile. This could be the cover shot. There we go. All right.
And what that is, that was an article in Road King magazine that
Yep.
they did about the business.
And that's how I learned about
That's
you.
how you found me. You saw
He was
that.
in a magazine in the 80s with that truck. And when Facebook came up, I was just going through my old trucking magazines looking for these people in these magazines that I read about. And I found Doug. And I sent him a message, hey, you the guy that was in this magazine? And now we're great friends.
Yeah,
Ever
like
since
that
then.
was like 12, 13. I think it was like
A
12.
long time ago.
Yeah, 12, 13 years ago maybe.
Like, yeah, like 2010 probably,
Something.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was a while ago. Yeah, you found me from that.
Yeah, on
And,
Facebook, yeah.
And, then
and
after
I had a
that-
copy of it. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, and then after that, I sold that, sold everything.
So you were in the car, you were hauling cars, exotic cars for
Yeah,
snowbirds
yeah. Did that.
to Florida.
Yep.
And then briefly, what happened to the car business?
Well, 9/11 happened, and I used to rely on, like, I did snowbirds, took the cars to Florida in the winter, brought them back in the summer.
Yep.
They would all ship their car and then fly down there. After 9/11, nobody wanted to fly, and like it was just like I was losing a ton of work.
Yeah.
And I understood. I mean, people didn't want to fly. I get
Yeah.
it. So I was kind of like, well, I could ride it out or see what happens. And I knew a friend that had been working in a TV truck production business
Yeah.
for years, and he had actually contacted me about maybe taking a job like 3 years earlier, and I said, nah, I'm good.
Yep.
I turned it down. And then he contacted me like a little bit after everything had slowed down real bad, and I was like, well, let me give it a shot, and worked for a company that was based out of LA, and parked that truck. I had sold some of the other trucks, parked the car hauling truck, and said, let me try this out, and I did it for, I don't know, maybe a couple months, and I said, yeah, I'm good, I'm done. I
Yeah.
sold the truck, the car business, sold the trailer, sold all the equipment, and 24 years later, I'm still...
You're working at NEP,
Yeah. Yep.
coast to coast, flying all over the world,
They go everywhere.
taking trucks to the Olympics in
Yeah,
Tokyo,
not this
in Brazil.
year.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that. I've done
Yeah.
Brazil and Tokyo. This year, the company I work for is worldwide, so
Yeah.
they have trucks in Europe. So they're
Yeah.
doing the Olympics this
Yeah.
year with the stuff over
But
there.
you made a good living out of it.
Life's been okay.
It's been okay.
I got very little to complain about.
Well, all right. Dave. Why is it Doug? You guys are 2 Ds. So, trucking been pretty good to you?
Yeah. And
You still enjoy it?
That's the only thing I know.
Right. Well, you know the car business.
Yeah, I know, but this is predictable.
Yeah.
You know.
It's easy when you just know what you're doing, right?
Yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, and you made a video of me out in Wyoming a year ago, and
Yeah.
I threatened to quit then to retire.
Yeah, you threaten to quit every year.
And I keep
Dude,
threatening to
every year
retire.
he's like, this is my last year.
You know, it's
Unless they leave me alone, this is my last year.
How's that working out for you?
It's good. You know, it's
He's
all
still
right.
there.
I'm still there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
okay, but like, you know, I keep saying maybe this year, the end of the year, I'll retire, and then maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I like what I do. What can I
Yeah.
tell you?
What are you gonna do?
And after living like the way I lived for the last, 40 plus years.
You guys are gypsies. You are a real gypsy.
He is. I mean, we
You-
just had a short drive, but I'm like, yeah, he's a gypsy as well.
Yeah, you guys are the same in
I
that
just
respect.
like,
Yeah.
you know what? I've always been the guy that, like, when everybody turns left, I want to take the dirt
Yeah.
road that goes right, or the
Yeah.
little road that goes right, and I want to see what's over the hill
You're
and
making it work.
what's around,
You
you know,
know?
whatever. And the cool thing about my job is, like, I have to fly all the time for work.
Yeah.
So I'm so used to getting on a plane that, like, a couple weeks ago, I flew down to Panama City, Panama, just because I heard it was cool and I wanted to check it out. So
Yeah.
I flew down there for 4 days. And, like, to me, that's just, like, normal everyday stuff. To a
Yeah.
lot of people, that'd be like, what are you, crazy? That's a big deal. But,
Yeah.
like, you know, that's just how I've lived. So the thought of retiring and then staying in one place, I don't know how that's going to work. But,
Yep.
yeah. At some point, I'll have to hang the keys up. I mean,
As long as you got your health.
everything-
As long as you got your
I know.
health. Yeah.
Everything's got its, you know, its time and its
Yeah.
place, and everything's got a shelf life. So
Yeah.
hopefully my shelf life will be a little bit longer. We'll see what happens.
So what I've been doing today is I've been cleaning up some of the aluminum. The steps look like these steps when I got them. They're oxidized. I mean, these trucks have been sitting. They were built in December and haven't really had any love on the aluminum. So mine look like that. Looks a lot better now. I just did that front wheel. I like to use the Milwaukee drill, and I put on this mother's ball on the end. Smear a little bit of polish on it, and just. It's pretty easy. It's not. It's probably not the best way to polish aluminum. That's how I do it lately. Those big buffers, I was never really good at. I don't have good balance with one, so I use a mother's ball. That's my latest trick. This one definitely needs some love. The aluminum on the back here. It'll get done, but it was nice having Dave and Doug here, good friends. Me and Dave go back to Bud Meyer Truck Lines, 1992. We met there in orientation, 92. Just a guy from Vermont and a guy from Boston. And we had a day of orientation. He went out in a cab over Kenworth. I went out in a cab over Peterbilt, and we ran coast to coast for a while in those. And then I upgraded to a 379, and he upgraded to a T600. And we've been friends ever since. And I met Doug, that Hot Wheels magazine. I had that magazine, and I read the story about him. And when Facebook happened, I was looking up people from the trucking magazines, and I found him. I go, hey, you that guy from that magazine? He's like, yeah, we've been friends ever since. So it's crazy how that works. So I'm just doing a little cleanup here. I'm going to end this video. Wasn't even planning on making a video this week. There you go. I am getting on a plane tonight, heading to Barcelona, Spain, and Florence and Pisa, Italy, Rome, Italy, Capri, Italy, and I will be back on in a week. And then we're gonna do some trucking. Finally, get back to trucking. Peace and grace. Enjoy. Look for me in Europe. Maybe I'll find some trucks there, make a video. I'm hoping. I usually make it happen. We'll see what happens this time. See you guys.